Hi, I'm Debbie, and welcome to Divine Destiny with Debbie. Today we're reading for the 26th, 27th, and 28th of February, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is a full moon weekend. Now, you know that when it's the weekend reading, I am using my two Radley Valentine decks, Angel Tarot cards for the main message, Archangel Power Tarot cards. I will pull one. I'll also pull one from my Emily Anderson Crystal deck. I've prayed, meditated, and infused all the cards, all the decks with Reiki energy. Remember, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate. Take what you like, leave the rest. I am an intuitive channeler. Some might even say a messenger. My job is just to deliver the message. I open myself to higher power. That's where the message comes from. Okay, now, we do have a full moon. This is on the 27th in the morning. It's at 0317, so 3:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, full moon. So that would be, Friday night, Saturday morning, depending on where you're at. It is in Virgo. It is trining Uranus, which is in Taurus right now, and Mars in Taurus also. It's also opposite Venus. So there's a lot of positivity to this moon. This is actually kind of a even though there's a lot of earth energy to it, there's a lot of getting down to earth, getting down to business type of energy. But this has a very much a kind of taken a lot of control back into our own hands. This is, really what what is it that we've been wanting? What is it that we've been hoping for? And again, too, I do feel a lot of control coming back into our own hands. But the thing is, it's not being given to us as much as it is we are taking it. Okay? I'm hearing we are taking it back. And now granted, does it all come all the time? No. Does it all come at once? No. But again, it is the more and more and more. Now, the full moon energy will be around for a good 14 days until we come to that new moon. Remember, new moon to full moon is when we request. Full moon to new moon is when we get rid of the baggage, and the full moon in itself is when we release, relinquish, and request. So that's releasing what's holding us back. What is holding us back? It could be a spiritual thing, it could be an emotional thing, but it also could be very much in the physical too. So it could be, are we afraid? And that's what we're afraid, that's what's keeping us. That's what, what we need to release. Or is it something that is actually more in that natural, maybe it's possibly it's a toxic relationship. Remember, relationships, work, job, career, personal, interpersonal, intimate, family, or home. So maybe it's more in that natural, and that's something else we need to release. Relinquish is actually giving it up, giving something up of your free will. It's not necessarily having it being taken from you as much as it is saying, no, I don't want this anymore. This is not my path anymore. And then, of course, request. Request is the wonderful part where it's like, now that we've gotten some space, now that we've cleared out, I like to liken it to my garage. Now that I've done some garage sales and I've, cleaned up my garage, now I have space to bring in. And that's when we ask for those things that will help us, will benefit us, will bring us to that better pathway. I'm always a little bit leery about being too specific with what I request, because sometimes what I request is so narrow that, I feel that sometimes I miss out on that bigger picture. So if you are worried about money, or if you do not have a job, one of the things many people will say, I want a job that gives me A, B, C, D, E, F, G, instead of saying, I want and I've done that. And you know what? I've gotten those jobs. And I realized I wasn't necessarily happy. So the other thing is to kind of make it a little broader, is to say, I would like something to fulfill my financial security. I'd like a little bit extra, sometimes a lot extra, so I can have a little fun, or to help others also. So sometimes putting that out, and then, you can just see what happens when you make it a little broader. Okay. Now, the other, so release, relinquish, and request. Now remember, this is also opposite Venus, so it's kind of like the two of them are looking at each other, the full moon. I never say to worship the full moon. That's not what I'm talking about. I look at the full moon as a divine creation, and it goes through its phases, and the moon, through its gravitational pull, or however you want to say it, the scientific reasons, it does affect us. Okay, so the full moon in Virgo with those Taurus, the Mars and Uranus trines, and then opposite Venus. So that Venus is, very loving, very caring. Now but Venus can be a little bit emotional. Venus can be a little bit of a jealous person too, or I should say jealous energy too, not a person, a jealous energy. So you gotta be careful with Venus in some ways. Venus went into Pisces on the 25th, but I've talked about that. So we have these two. This is why I said this would be a good weekend to revisit Valentine's Day, or what the concept of Valentine's Day is. This is a full moon that's very earthy, so it is very down to, getting down to business. It can be a bit of a perfectionist, so try not to be too micromanaging. It's getting you ready, getting busy. Now, it is also, it's like getting like fresh air coming through, spring cleaning. Now, I know for the people in the southern hemisphere, it might just be getting ready for your winter also. So, it's cleaning your house. It's just very freeing. I just feel very freeing. Ready for changes, preparation, high motivation and energies. And like I said, this is kind of like a revisiting of Valentine's Day, or what we believe, what we think of as Valentine's Day. So this would be a good time for that special celebration, the special date, whatever it is that, maybe you didn't get to do it, a couple of weeks ago. This would be a good time to revisit that. Okay. So that's what I'm going to tell you about. Now, the other thing about the full moon is this is when, you can do like 3 days before up to, and then 3 days after. So that's like a 6-day period. I myself like the day before, the day of, and then the day after. So since it's 26th in the morning, I would say then the 24th, 25th, 26th, I might go to the 27th too. I put things out that are very special to me. I make like my cards and such, but I'll put out, I actually have them on the windowsill that gets a good moonlight type of energy. But if I put it outside, I always make sure that I like double seal it with some baggies, okay? Because it does get a little damp and a little wet, and I don't want them to be, I don't want them to become mushy. Anyway, that's really what I want to tell you about with the full moon. It is an important time. There's a lot of celebrations. The 26th also has a lot of it's not necessarily that you receive, it is received, but it's not necessarily that everything is all perfect. But this has the energy to say we can be very, very positive. We can also triumph. We can also just get busy and get things done. And, again, it's that thing of it's taking back control, or taking of control. And it has, and a lot of my Tauruses have been feeling this already. And it's just stepping up to that plate. And there's a big determination with this energy. Okay? Whew. So I do feel that my earth signs will probably, be more, they will feel this quite strongly, but it's also too, please don't think that if you are the earth will kind of get down to business. The fire signs, this is going to fuel your passion. The water signs, I feel this is also, this is also gonna, it's like, just kind of feeling with my water signs, just get going, get going, get going. And then with my air signs, again, we are in an age of Aquarius. This is that thing. Put it out there, speak it out there. You can I kind of feel like with my air signs, you can speak, or even if with all of us, but you can speak it out. You can move mountains. Okay? Okay. Anyway, let's get started with the readings. Hello, my Tauruses. How are you? It's going to be an interesting weekend. There's a lot of Taurus energy, even though we have that full moon in Virgo, but there's a lot of Taurus determination for you, that you're exhibiting. You're feeling it. So keep going, keep going. You know what? This is your life, and we only have, maybe there is reincarnation, but we really only have one life, right? One life as Debbie, one life as you. We'll find out if we ever come back again, but if we can't guarantee those things, get out of your head. Get out of your head. Stop thinking so much. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. But I know that the energies are extremely strong, so it's hard not to think so much when you just feel so, connected with that, connected with the earth energy that's pushing you forward. But again, I'm going to tell you, stop thinking so much. Get out of your head a little bit more. So a lot of this eight of air energy is our Gemini, Libra. It is also our Aquarius. Yes, we have a lot of stuff in Aquarius. Also, too, the other thing that's coming with this, too, is, again, I know, Saturn versus Saturn in Aquarius energy. It's, reality versus illusion. So maybe, this is one of those times that the egg is cracking, and things are being revealed to you more than you maybe are ready to have them come out, be revealed to you. The thing, or there's new paradigms, there's new thoughts, there's new ways of thinking about, what it is that you want. So, maybe, you've been on a trajectory, and this is, you've had your goal, you've known it, and this could also be about you changing your course, okay? Changing your path, because this is, maybe it's kind of like, you know what? I have been pursuing this because that's what I thought I wanted, and now I don't want it as much. So there's a little bit of that coming with this weekend. My best advice is take a little bit of time, write it down, because, this might be a truth, or this just might be so influenced by the energies that you're feeling right now. Okay. Anyway, the 8 of air, 8 unlimited opportunities, possibilities. Air energy, again, is Aquarius. It is Gemini. It is also Libra. Thoughts, words, hearing new messages, thinking things through, making some new plans, making some old plans, revising some plans too. But 2 things, though, is get out of your head. Don't think so much. The other is, though, maybe you're seeing things clearer than you have for a while. Anyway, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. The lack of self-confidence is kind of that, is that feeling that this is where I was going, and maybe it's not where I want to go. And you know what? So maybe it's just take some steps back. Again, too, this full moon is a great time for you, my Tauruses, to write things down, put it on your refrigerator so you see it every day, but to also speak it out. Release, relinquish, request. I think this is going to be really powerful for you, and you can use that energy to put things out there. Okay? Okay. Next card up, the King of Water. Now, King's underlying energy is air. We just talked about that. Water energy is our Pisces, it's our Scorpio, it's our Cancer, fluid, emotional. The King of Water is an experienced, is very experienced, is very mature, emotionally mature. What is that? The emotional quotient. I know you'll tell me, but his, and it doesn't matter if you're male or female, but his emotional maturity is extremely high. The thing is, though, he still cares. He still feels deeply. Okay, so there is I do feel there's still part of it's like, I know this is where I need to go. I know this is where I want to go, but I don't necessarily want to leave this behind just yet. So there is a little bit, this is more where you want to go, where you are seeing, again, there is clarity. You are seeing some things where you want, but it's hard to leave. It's hard to leave and put an end to that other piece that you might have put a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of thought into also. Okay? So again, too, I'm going to I guess what I'm saying for this weekend is you don't have to do anything just, right now. You don't have to cut those ties. You don't have to, but pay attention, journal, try to get in touch with who you are and what it is you do want. And then if you write it down, and this is why I like this, to write things down more for my Tauruses, is that you can then go back to it and say, is that where I really want to be? It's kind of like, okay, let's make a plan. Let's think about this now. Let's put it away for the moment, and we'll come back to it in a week. Okay? Okay. Trustworthy, compassionate, respected, cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice, charity work. Your last card here, the Seven of Earth. Now, the Seven of Earth, Earth is your energy, of course. It is Virgo. It is also Capricorn. It is very solid, something you can touch. It's also money, also career, business, anything to do with maintaining the natural part of your life. Sevens is the divine umbrella. So again, there's this, I've put a lot of effort into this. And now maybe this is one of those times that it's about to, pay off. We've talked about, basically, and this is where the conflict is. This is why I'm saying this is where you need to wait and see some more. I know we don't like wait and see. This is where I'm going to just basically say, get some clarity, get some thoughts, but don't necessarily act on anything just yet, because things will turn themselves, things will come, will actually unveil itself, will reveal itself in the right manner for you. Because a couple of things here is, yes, and this is where your thoughts are, sometimes you can get really close to the big payoff, and then you leave, and then you were so close. The other is that, again, maybe the payout isn't what you want either. So there is some conflict here. There is some thoughts about, what do I want? What don't I want? I'm going to just say, clarify, think about it, meditate, pray, however that is that you need, that helps you to clarify. Talk about it with someone, and then wait. It's kind of like, and I'm getting this really strong. Wait for the moment. Wait for the season. Okay? It's very close. It's very close, my Tauruses. But right now, don't let this cramp you, give you knots in your tummy, anything like that, or give you migraines or anything like that. Think your thoughts, but but again, step back from them a little bit too, and then wait. You don't have to act on anything just now. Okay? Does that make sense? Anyway, seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. So what it is, you're heading in the right path. You're doing where you need to go. There is divine intervention here that's taking you down the right path. The thing is, don't act on your natural, and that's again too, with this full moon, all of this is that you want to take control of the situation. Not to say, it's like you just want to do it. You just want to do it. You just want to take control of it and just make something happen. This is a time to just let things happen more so, okay? But have some fun this weekend, though, too, because, again, I think that if you have a little fun and you do a little bit of relaxation, I think that'll help get your mind off of this. Anyway, let's see what we have here. The Queen of Michael. Well, that makes sense, too. Michael is air energy. We talked about that. The Queen's underlying energy is water, emotional, okay, fluid. And we've talked about that too. So there is a connection. There is an emotional connection. There is, the Queen, male or female, is in her glory. But the Queen of Michael has to step back a little bit and look at the bigger picture. Just where the King of Water has, wants to kind of jump back in, knows to go forward, but wants to jump back into that past. The Queen of Michael just kind of says, yes, I understand wanting to jump back, but it may not necessarily be the best thing for me. So again, too, so it could be very much a relationship. So maybe there's an older relationship, could be your work, job, career, personal, intimate, interpersonal, family, home, that comes back into your life. And while it seems like something you might want to go in, and the King of Water may say, no, I know that wasn't good for me, but I kind of want to go in there, but I got to go forward. The Queen of Michael says the same thing, but has more clarity, has more thought processes, and says, no, I'm going forward. I need to step back. I don't need to, and some of it too is I don't need to make a decision today, but whatever decision I want to make has to be the right one for me. And that's not being selfish. That is not being selfish, my Tauruses. Many times over, you have jumped in to help others, or, or people have come into your life or come back into your life and they're like, oh, you're the only one that can help me. And you're like, okay. And it's not necessarily the healthiest. So the Queen of Michael steps back a little bit and is going to, again, there's kind of a wait and see type of energy here. Okay. Brilliant, self-reliant, insightful, humorous. You know exactly what to do. The benefit of experience, a time for your career rather than your relationships. So again, step back a little bit, okay? You don't have to do anything just yet, okay? Enjoy the energy, enjoy the full moon. Release, write it all down, what you want to get rid of, release, relinquish, and request. Do all of those things. Enjoy that moment. You don't have to make major plans for that future. You don't have to do anything. Live in the moment in some ways also here. But don't make any major decisions just yet. Okay. This isn't Mercury retrograde type of energy. This is, again, that full moon, really strong. It can make you want to do things that maybe shouldn't. Maybe you just have to wait a little bit. Just be patient, okay? Here we are. What energy or crystal for my Tauruses? Air, okay. Air energy, breathe. You've got the air energy here, so kind of get your mind a little bit out of the cycle. But communication, imagination, independent, witty. Interesting for you, my Tauruses. Let me get this here now. There we go. Okay. Interesting. Like I said, you don't have to do anything just yet. Make your plans. Think about your plans. Okay, if I do this, this is the way I go. If I do this, this is the way I do it. Full moon, and again, you are highly psychic, and that's another thing that could be a little bit with this. You could pick up what other people want you to be doing, and it's not necessarily what you want to do. So let's get past all of this earth energy with the full moon, and where you can actually see a little more clarity. Okay, anyway, my Tauruses, remember the button, like, share, subscribe. It does help, and I thank you. More importantly, my Tauruses, know that you are loved, stay shining, and be blessed. Bye-bye.